very, very powerful. And now see how they're coordinating together? See how your knights are coordinating together with the pawn. Very, very active. They're coordinating together, spending time there. Perhaps you can actually even play here, but the knight in the center is a great middle game target. Now, often if they've got a pawn here, they're not going to necessarily allow that knight to just sit there. So you might have time to get rid of it, and then when they capture or you capture, you might be able to then enter the center. Entering to one of these 4 center squares is so critical. I hope I've emphasized it. Now, this idea, now they're in a brigade. They're in a powerful brigade. You can actually see it. It's just singing to you. And another way that this knight can move, when you put a piece back to its square, always follow the track that it took. It's just really good pattern recognition for your skills, chess skills, knowledge, skills, and tools, KST. The KST method. Get the knowledge, get the skills, use your tools, and respect your tools, and you'll do very well. So the knight actually can play backwards. We spoke about this. Now, the beauty of this move here, why I love it, is as we discussed in an earlier video, the knights can brigade this way, but also the knight can actually go into the center like we said. But also, you can actually move this knight. Now, why might you want to form the brigade this way, this buddy system? Why might you want to do that? Because you may have castled the king, and you may want to get the sub-center pawn rolling as a weapon to exchange off. And this knight doesn't just guard this centered knight, it actually looks at this pawn here. Now, another way this knight could play is this knight can go into the sub-center as well. And so now we have column formation with these 2 knights, and that forms a beautiful zone defense. The knight is incredibly positioned to obviously can swing back inside. Knight goes wide to swing inside to the outpost, or the knights can coordinate together and work their way down the board. When they're in a column, they're in a very aggressive position. Now, finally, so we've spoken about the knights, and that's where the grass is greener, and the center. So we'll put our little pawns in the center. There we go. All right. So we can see finally. Now it's been a lot of information. So rewatch this and absorb this. The knights love the center. It's where the grass is greenest, and with a typical wonderful move to start the game is to move a knight. All right. Typically the king's knight, but the queen's knight is fine. And now we can see those 2 squares it's looking at. All right. When a knight is on the light, it attacks the dark. And we can see right from the start, you've played with a piece and you're thinking about the center. You don't have to occupy the center with pawns. You can control the center at a distance. And I just like to say one of the reasons I particularly like moving at least one of the center pawns, like say the king pawn. I think beginners should always play king pawn and more experienced people queen pawn. But so king pawn, the beauty of this is it frees up. You have to move a pawn for the bishops to activate. The lights skate on their own color and on their own light. Okay, and so they're stuck on their color, and so it takes the pawn move doesn't just give you a chance to build an outpost for your knight and control the center. If you close the center, the knight can run wide and wreak havoc. But the beauty of moving a pawn in the beginning is you also free up the bishop. because the bishop cannot move until a pawn moves, and you want to be very suspect. If you're not freeing up pieces as quick as possible, you want to be very suspicious of what you're doing. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with being suspicious over your moves, and but I would also say let your confidence go first, and then your skill will follow. Just play confidently, and your skill will eventually catch up. But if you focus on your skill without that confidence, you won't get the results as quickly as you want. So it doesn't matter if you're playing a stronger player, throw your pieces down the board at them, be confident, go for checkmate, go for the jugular, like a wolf. Even if they're like a cave bear and you're attacking them, they're so much better. Force the better player to defend, and that's where they'll shine. Because attack gets you to the finals, but defense wins championships. All right, take care. All right, bye.